All right, I'm back with a different angle here. Still going to go over the light up. The leveling up. At the end of a game session, cops may. See if you can see that. I'll try to zoom in a little bit more here. There we go, so you can see the words. At the end of the game session, cops may attempt to level up. To do this, each player will roll 1d6 plus half their current level, rounded down. If the roll exceeds their current level, they level up. When you level up, you gain +1 base statistic of your choosing, which is good. Remember to update secondary stats that are affected by this by +1, and you get 1 new rank ability. So yeah, at the end of the game session. So there we go. Criminals have their own set of statistics. They each have a DL. This is only a measure of how difficult the enemy is to kill, but also how unhappy they are about the holidays. Each also has a health rating. Enemies also have a random weapon most of the time. The GM can decide which weapon a criminal has, or roll randomly on either the melee or ranged weapons tables, which I'll do for the game, since I'm doing it solo. When a criminal attacks, it always rolls a 1d6 and adds their DL. If the result meets or beats the cop's defense level, it hits. So just like cops, a roll of 6, even if technically below the defense level, can still potentially hit on a second roll of 6. If they roll the second 6, not only do they hit, but they do double damage. See lethal attack. So, just to go over that again, when a criminal attacks, it always rolls a 1d6 and adds that to the difficulty level. If the result meets or beats the cop's defense level, it hits. So this is a little different from the usual micro RPG kind of thing. You're rolling, instead of like kind of rolling for your guy's agility, you're rolling basically to see if they hit, adding their roll to their base, their DL. So if they roll, let's see, roll 6, so it's got to meet or go higher than the target number, which is your defense level. So it's a variant kind of combat, I think, than the usual. So you got here, say, a petty thief, right? A common thief who usually robs little convenience stores and other businesses. They usually carry a small knife or handgun. Up here, the DL. The DL is 3, so I would roll a d6 for them and add the 3. I believe, yeah, add the 3, and then this is the health of the petty thief. They get 5 hit points. So they roll to hit you, 1d6 plus the 3, and if that beats your defense, meets or beats your defense, you get hit. And yeah, so but all these two, I'm trying to think. So these aren't necessarily the weapons. I think each weapon has a different damage to it. So car chases and explosions. What is an action movie without car chases and explosions? Following are some brief guidelines for running car chase sequences and handling explosives in the game. Additionally, if you're playing the game set in some snowy city, you're in for some tense and icy conditions. Car chases, zooming through the city streets, chasing after criminals. Destruction is a fun part of the game. For the purpose of the game, a car has 3 stats during the chase: speed, handling, and integrity. Speed. The speed of the car is just how fast it gets going. It also obstructs it has an abstract measure of how quickly it can reach top speeds. Handling. A car's handling is a measure of how easy it is to pilot at top speeds. The faster a car goes, the harder the DL. Integrity. Finally, the integrity of the car is its health. How much damage can it take before it crashes or blows up? Also, a higher integrity also will make the handling DL more difficult. Integrity will also make the handling DL more difficult. Integrity, current speed, handling, DL. So here up top, I printed this out. Compact cars, I believe they're, let's see, this is the speed, and this is the speed number, and I believe this, they have an integrity of 10. So let me underline this. Integrity, current speed, and handling DL. So current speed 3. Yeah, to the right is they're different. The integrity is 10. The current speed in that current speed, say if it's going 60 miles per hour, the handling DL is at a 6. I believe that's how it works here. So integrity is 10. If it's going 80 miles per hour, the difficulty level is 12. So obviously it's going higher and higher because it's getting trickier. It's going faster, so it's harder to handle. So that makes sense. And then you got pickup trucks at 20 integrity, and you got the different speeds and the handling numbers, and then you got semi trucks and buses, which is interesting. I'm not going to go too far into these. I'm not going to, for the first adventure, or at least the first bit of it, I'm not going to go into cars too much because that's something I kind of want to work out on my own and see how that goes before I integrate it into the Lethal Weapon home adventure. So, yeah. Oh, here we go. A little bit more about the cars. So in the chart, you are given basic guidelines for size car integrity, along with difficult level according to the speed. The first listed lowered speed in each section is how fast the car will go, right out of the bat. From turning it on and hitting the gas right away. When a player is driving a car, they must make speed checks in order to properly handle the vehicle. They must make this type of check for each turn or stunt they do. Stunts are actions in the car from turning to stopping, even accelerating to the next speed level listed on the chart. Stunts also increase or decrease the difficulty. So regular handling, DL, regular turning, stopping, accelerating, no DL change. Difficult, quick U-turns, breaking through small obstacles, etc. It gives a +1 to the speed check, I believe. So say, okay, I'm going to do a quick U-turn on the road, right? So okay, you can do that. It's a quick U-turn. It's something uncommon for the car to do. So a +1 to the speed check of whatever that ends up being. Maybe it's a 6 or something like that. So it ends up being a 7 because it's a little bit trickier. Same, breaking through small obstacles, same thing. Impossible. Smashing through walls, making jumps. He adds a +2 difficulty level to it. Makes sense. It's understandable. Okay, finally. It's usually best if he has his or her partner doing the shooting while the other drives. However, if a partner wants to drive and shoot, or drive and do any other activity at the same time, it is a +1 DL to both checks. Explosions. What's an action movie? Complete. what action movie is complete without an explosion or two? In the game, explosions may happen, and they may be dangerous. The items section lists how level explosives, such as grenades, at a damage rating of 6. However, you may get a larger explosion in the game. Each explosive in the chart below has an explosive level. Each level deals 6 damage. Additionally, the larger the explosive, the more danger or fire explosion growing larger. Each explosive has a multiplier. Roll the die during an explosion. If the number is equal or higher than the multiplier, the explosion increases 1 level. Roll the die again, subtracting 1 from the roll, but if it is still equal or higher, the explosion will spread again. Keep rolling until you no longer roll a number equal or higher to the explosive multiplier. There's a lot going on there. So, level explosive multiplier, grenade, 6. This is just going in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dynamite has 5, TNT has 3, C4 is 3, and plastic is 2. So it's going down, but these are the more powerful explosions. Plastique is the most, I'd say that it was the most hardcore of all the explosives, I believe. Getting caught in an explosion is a surefire way to get killed in the game. Players usually need a speed check to get out of the blast zone quickly as it's happening. If they get caught in it, the GM may allow the player a final safe check. This is where I would ask the Oracle dice, do I get a safe check? Yes or no, you know. Or Mythic. Have the player roll a d6 without any modifiers or additions. If the player rolls a 6, they escape. The GM may choose to use this rule in other situations as well, where the player is on the very edge of death at a crucial point in the game. So yeah, just to go over things. Explosive level. Each level deals 6 damage. Additionally, the larger explosive, the more dangerous. Fire explosion. Each has a multiplier. Roll a die during an explosion. If the number is equal or higher than the multiplier, the explosion increases 1 level. So, say if I roll a 4 on the TNT, like I have to hit, let's see, if the number is equal to or higher. So the lower the number here, the harder it is to get away from the explosion growing. I believe that's what they're trying to say. So say, okay, a TNT goes off. I roll the 6-sider, or the GM rolls the 6-sider. If I get a 4 or higher on that 6-sider, the explosion increases another level. So roll the die again, subtracting 1 from the roll. And if it is still equal or higher, the explosion spreads again. You know, so it's just an interesting thing. Again, I kind of want to play it out before I implement it in the Lethal Weapon game a little bit. So I guess it's harder to roll under it. Each level it increases, I think. I think that's what they're trying to imply. So, okay. Additionally, the larger explosive roll the die during an explosion equal to or higher than the explosion increases. So if I get over 4, I roll the die again, subtracting 1 from the roll. I roll a 4, and I subtract the 1. Well, I get under that number, so it doesn't spread. So you see what they're saying. So it's harder to roll under a 2 for the second roll because it's a major explosive plastique. So it takes a little practice, a little, you know, messing around with it. But I get the point. Go ahead, comment below if you're kind of confused about that, and if you're still watching. That's about it. I wanted to go over all that. I know it's a lot. I know it might be a little dull and boring, and I just, you know, I'm going to try to implement and talk about things, or maybe do a graphic as I play to show you how I implement these rules while I'm playing the solo adventure. So thanks for watching. I hope you had a Merry Christmas, and I'm looking forward to playing the opening scene of the Lethal Weapon homemade solo adventure. Yeah.